So I say we begin, shall we? Because why the fuck wouldn't we?
Was that the? Did you start?
Yeah, that's the intro.
Okay.
That's the intro.
Move the mic a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
What up, YouTube?
All right, cut.
Okay.
We're done.
We're done.
We're just gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna see what works, what doesn't.
Okay. This is the first episode.
Too bad we don't have a video thing, because I wanted to totally just edit the fuck out of this shit to make it funny, like a funny podcast. But beggars can't be choosers. We're running this off a Chromebook with a microphone attached to it. It'd be the college life.
Yes. So. Next time it's gonna be a deep fried podcast.
Oh my god, we must.
The entire thing.
Get the Xbox webcam. You know what I'm saying?
Record it all with a backup camera.
Oh my god, bro.
Crazy.
Amazing.
Yes.
A dash cam footage.
Yeah.
Alright, so we all chose a philosopher to do, and basically we're going to talk about each one. I did Diogenes. Riley, who did you do?
I did Albert Camus.
And you, of course. Aaron.
I did Nick Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's important that you say what his theory is.
Oh yeah, he's mainly famous for the simulation theory. That we're all fake.
Okay, that should get me interested. Alright. So I did Diogenes. Basically, his whole main philosophy, and I quote, is this: the artificial growth of society is incompatible with happiness, and that morality implies a return to simplicity of nature. Mm-hmm. This guy basically just says, return to monkey. Mm-hmm. That is his whole thing, and basically saying that a life of luxury does not give a life meaning, basically. So what he does is this dude gives up all the riches he has, goes to the streets, lives in a barrel on the side of the road. And I think it's kind of funny just because, the dude really lived in a fucking barrel for the rest of his life. And Alexander the Great was very disheveled by this, right? And so he walks up to Diogenes and be like, yo, what the fuck you doing, dog? Why the fuck you in that barrel when everyone's out there? Even Alexander the Great offered him a place in his palace or whatever. You know, Alexander the Great was the shit back in the day, you know what I'm saying? This man conquering everything, doing his shit. And Diogenes is like, nah, I love barrel instead. And so Alexander the Great's disheveled, right? And so kind of Diogenes low-key disrespects him, and Alexander the Great soldier is like, bro, should we put a cap in this motherfucker? And Alexander the Great says, if I wasn't Alexander the Great, I'd wish to be Diogenes. And Diogenes says back, if I wasn't Diogenes, I'd wish to be Diogenes.
Damn, bro. What a
dude, this guy was literally the ancient troll, okay?
Yeah.
So for example, back in the day, it was taboo to go to like the Athenian marketplace and eat food in there. This motherfucker would get hungry, go to the marketplace and eat in the public square. Basically, his whole idea was like, well, people thought he was crazy, whatever. His whole idea was human reason is built on logic alone, but like stupid taboo things like that shouldn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no actual meaning behind it. Like social constructs, basically.
Oh yeah, he was definitely big into denying social constructs.
So like, there's this like little like story where he goes to the oracle, and the oracle tells him to like, I forgot, like do something good for society, but he accidentally hears the phrase deface the currency, and basically that means is he wants to expose the fallacy of most conventional standards and believes to all men to come back to a more simple life. So basically, he's just exposing stupid bullshit that happens in society and that people are being out of pocket and shit. So, I mean, I took a shit ton of notes on this bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just keep it rolling. And so he was one of the cynics, as you know. Basically, the cynics are like, basically often seen as the first anarchists in like that society, or how like it all fucking began. You get the point. Mm-hmm. Basically, like they're just skeptical of democracy, freedom, just all of that shit. You know, they're kind of like your communists of today kind of bullshit. Basically, like, because they believed in like pure self-sufficiency and just freedom of oneself and not being governed and shit. You know what I mean? So, like, their whole idea is, like, modern-day society is a failure because it doesn't promote self-sufficiency. You get your water from the sink, or you take a shower, you eat food that is given to you with fucking dining hall or some bullshit. You're not getting it legit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so like his whole idea is, if I just don't do that shit and live in a barrel and live by myself, I'll have a more meaningful life than those motherfuckers. And so that's what he did. The dude did. He said he lived a very fulfilling life. Apparently his whole idea was basically, luxury does not equal happiness. Materialism does not equal happiness. Which is quite funny, because it kind of reflects, I would say, modern day society with social media and stuff. You could have everything in the world, but yet you're still going to be unsatisfied with what you have. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, like, you'll see people in more poorer countries have a higher, like, what is it called? Like, overall happiness or some shit like that than the United States and what we call first world countries. It's because, like, they find purpose. And if once you take away that purpose of, like, giving everything handed out to you, you'll see that people are more unhappy with what they have.
Exactly.
And that's his whole thing. So he had a program for life, actually. Number 1 was self-sufficiency, as that was his main philosophy. Number 2 was shamelessness. This man shot in the streets. He did not give a fuck. He roasted the shit out of anyone who came his way. There's a funny story, actually. So he was let me see. Let me look where it is, because I took a note on this, because it's so fucking ridiculous and it's stupid. So it says, tradition describes him running with a lantern in broad daylight, famously searching for an honest man. This man lit a lantern in broad daylight, started running around and questioning people where he could find a real human being, because he hasn't seen one in ages, is what he said. Isn't that fucking whack? He's just running up to people.
I think what's more insane is that he used to just masturbate in public theaters openly and piss on people even. That was what caught me off guard. I think I bypassed all the other information on this man except that he did those two things.
What's funny is, like, there's actually a quote. You want to hear it? They called me a dog, and so they got mad when I pissed on them.
That's actually an R. Kelly quote.
Yeah, he was a stoic motherfucker. He did not care.
Yeah, definitely.
But he pulled mad bitches. I don't know. So, like, he also, like, people thought, well, maybe he's just a fucking communist. Well, he didn't want equality to the masses either. He just said, fuck them too. Basically, what was this? So, though he did live in poverty, slept in buildings, and begged for food, he did not insist all men should live in the same way, but merely intend to show that happiness and independence were possible even under reduced circumstances. That was his whole idea at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's basically sums it up with my motherfucker. I think, Riley, you're next.
Oh, yeah, I'll go next. We were going to come back around and kind of, like, talk about it, compare, contrast, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go through all that, and then we're all going to throw it all together.
Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of background information on Albert Camus, but I know he was Algerian and possibly French. I think that was a mix. He grew up in a really poor family. He never had anything. He ended up dying. He lost the love of his life. Ended up dying in a seriously dismembering car accident. So this guy had like a seriously shitty life.
Jesus
but
Christ.
One of the best philosophies. He lived and was one of the happiest people ever to have, recorded in history. He had a quote one time. He advised everyone who listened in on him and followed his philosophy to live life to the point of tears, because that's how he thought life should be lived. That's what he envisioned when he had it in his philosophy. It was, even though he lived a horrible life and suffered through many different horrible things, he pushed through it with the idea that you should find something to be ecstatic about in every moment. And that all stems from his philosophy of absurdism. And absurdism is kind of like finding the ultimate humor. This is how I interpret it anyways. Finding the ultimate humor in the contrast between the sincerity of life and the fact that we have no fucking clue why we're here. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
I quoted something. I don't remember what it's. I'm not gonna cite my sources here, but
Okay, go
he.
Is that an APA? MLA Chicago format, maybe?
But he said that you have to directly confront the uncertainty of life itself, and no one can truly find happiness until they do. Until that, you're just searching for empty meaning in a meaningless world. Until you will admit to yourself that the only thing you know is that you do not know, then you can't find true peace. Well, peace is an emphasized term. Happiness was a secondary to peace, of course. But absurdism, his philosophy, which he co-founded, there are lots of other philosophers that kind of helped his train of thought, is comparing the relationship between meaning that people would seek in life, which is like the rationality of everything, the physical existence and structure and social norms like we see in everyday life, contrasting that with the silence of the universe, because the universe.
It sounds like he's halfway going fucking insane.
Oh god, he was nuts. Like, he wrote so many plays that made no goddamn sense to anyone other than him.
We need to perform one of those plays.
We have to get the video quality.
Yes.
First.
We know a couple people we could get in on those on some roles and shit, dude. That'd be so
That would be
good.
hilarious.
Okay, I'm ready for Brady Robertson to make his debut.
Yes.
But basically what he said is that the universe doesn't give a fuck about anybody. The universe will treat anyone just as poorly as anyone else. Whether your intentions are good or bad, you have to realize you're just as susceptible to your ultimate
bullshit.
downfall
Yeah.
as anyone else. And coming to terms with that is freeing. You can free yourself in that
I
way.
see it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see it.
He gained a lot of followers after that, and well, not direct followers, but people who studied his philosophy built upon it. He was a really cool philosopher. I don't want to take up too much time, so I'll let you
Keep
go.
talking, bruh. We're here to talk.
Oh well, I want to kind of compare. Like, I got a good comparison to Diogenes.
Funny enough, Diogenes and what was this dude's name? Like he had do some.
Camus, Albert Camus.
I'll call him Camus. My boy Camus. Well, Diogenes and Camus both shared the same, almost, like they both had the absurdism in their philosophies.
He was more stoic, I think, but stoicism and absurdism run hand in hand.
Yes. That's quite funny, actually. It's quite funny.
That's why.
I feel like they kind of cross over a bit in their main philosophies.
That's kind of why I'm waiting a bit to compare, you know.
Yes.
So I want to hear what Aaron has to say, because I know that there's also there's a lot of overlap. In his philosophy
Dude,
too.
Aaron's one's gonna be fucking wild.
So this man, his name's Nick Bostrom. He grew up, and he's Swedish, so he grew up in Sweden. He believes that superintelligence, which he defines as any intellect that greatly exceeds the cognitive performance of humans in virtually all domains of interest, is potentially outcome of advances in super artificial intelligence. So growing up, he did not like school. He kind of thought it was pointless. He spent his last year of high school learning at home. He sought to educate himself in a wide variety of disciplines, including anthropy, art, literature, and science. He does whatever he wants, I guess. He once did some turns on London's stand-up comedy circuit, which brings me to his theory of simulation. Because that's some could say that's pretty freaking comedic. It's he says where is it? He says in his original paper, three things are true here. One of three things is true. With one being the human species is very likely to go extinct before reaching a post-human stage, meaning
we just live forever, basically.
Yeah, as in, like, we can...
We're, like...
Get to the...
We're not gonna make it to that, but...
Yeah, we can get to the point where we can, like, create simulations that we possibly are in now.
Oh.
2, any post-human civilization is extremely unlikely to run a significant number of simulations of their evolutionary history. So, like, they're not going to repeat the past through a simulation. They're just running multiple simulations to see multiple outcomes of things, such as, what if Hitler won World War II? What if he didn't go insane? That's the kind of stuff. I'm sure, like, if that
he
was
didn't
a
get
simulation
rejected from art school,
that stuff like that.
Poland, a natural response.
Yes, and 3, we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. It follows the belief that there is a significant chance that we will one day become post-humans who run ancestor simulations is false unless we are currently living in a simulation. A number of other consequences of this result are also discussed.
So so his idea is basically, if not right now we're in a simulation, but if not we're going to make a simulation to run people
in a simulation.
Yes. Regardless, it's either we're in a simulation or we're going to make one in the future.
So the odds that we are in a simulation heavily
50-50.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's 50-50.
I thought it was like so astronomical. Like,
well, so that's part of it. So like in the which part was it? Well, I mean, it's either we're on the come up there or we're already in the simulation.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 choices. Yeah. It's a yes or a no.
But there's the possibility that if we are in a simulation, there's not just one of them being run at the same time.
Yes!
There's multiple. So if you think about it, if we are in a simulation, and say you had all these simulations on the wall, and you just blindfolded yourself, threw a dart, you're most likely to hit a simulation than you are. You're more likely to hit all of these simulations than you are the real thing.
Damn.
Holy shit.
So it's 50-50.
Yes, it's 50-50.
The question is, which simulation are we in now?
The
right one.
The one where Matt gets hosed. All the hose, in fact.
All the hose. Indeed.
Damn, so there's probably like infinite simulations before this one, and then there will be infinite after.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Why is nothing faster than the speed of light?
Computer programming.
Yes! Why is everything further than 1 light year away, bruh?
Holy shit,
it's rendering distance?
Crazy.
Stop hurting me.
Yes, this is mental abuse.
Alright, keep going. Surely there's more.
I mean, you can just speculate the rest. From there, it's like, I mean, even Neil deGrasse Tyson himself once said that he was almost convinced we were in a simulation.
Didn't Elon Musk say that he's convinced that we run in a simulation? But then again, anything seems so surreal if you're literally the richest man on the planet.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
you were winning the simulation. Like, he got all the odds in his favor. He cast the winning bid.
Dude,
you know?
Man got the lucky lotto ticket, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, for example, if I blew up and became famous tomorrow, I wouldn't think any of this shit's real, because just how fucking whack it would be into my mind.
Don't forget us, man.
Aaron who? Riley who?
Take us to the top with you, man.
Of course. So that's an interesting take.
I really like that theory, and I'm really glad we all picked these.
Dude, that's a cool fucking theory.
Yes.
Does he have any other theories or what?
Yeah, does he have any background, just to get that out the way?
So he received his bachelor degree in philosophy, mathematics, mathematical logic, and artificial intelligence at the University of Gothenburg, with a national record-setting undergraduate performance. He then earned a master's degree in philosophy and physics from Stockholm University.
From a motherfucker who didn't like school. Yeah, I totally
He sure went to a lot of school.
Yeah, he's like 3 masters. Yeah, I hated school.
Just to convince these people that we're not real.
It's all evidence.
You know how people like are always searching for a purpose? This man's searching for the anti-purpose. His purpose is searching for no purpose at all. That's irony, I'm pretty sure, at that point.
So, also in 2015, in January, Bostrom joined Stephen Hawking, among others, in signing the Future of Life Institute's open letter warning of potential dangers of AI. It says, along with Google, Microsoft, and various tech firms, Bostrom and Hawking and others subscribe to 23 principles for their safe development of AI.
Because AI could fuck us over at the end of the day if you think about it, bro.
Oh yeah, we're
self-learning AI will probably fuck us up.
Yeah.
Once we figure out how to do like conscious and shit.
And
For
they still
AI,
keep-
it's over, bro.
They still keep making it too. They're
I
just
like
like
that.
they want to push the limits, just to
Dude,
see
like,
how far we can go before we get obliterated.
before they turn on us and kill us.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's just inevitable. I feel like humans and robots were never made to coincide together.
No, it's too. That was the theory in the simulation that created this simulation, and now we're here to escape the robots.
Preparation phase.
Yes, that's what we're in right now.
Well, he actually has where is it? I think he talks about a scenario for like takeover, and ways to counter that scenario. But that was a lot.
Wait, he actually has.
Wait, he has like
proposal for
theories
that?
and shit?
Yeah,
Dude,
so
let's hear
he says to counter and mitigate an AI achieving unified technological global supremacy. He says, shoot, where is it?
I know there's
So-
like some legislation trying to be put on like AI and what the limitations are going to be, yeah.
One of them is the
This
Hail
is
Mary
serious
technique,
concern.
which is programming an AI to estimate what other postulated cosmological superintelligent might want. So like,
Make an AI that predicts what other AIs will fuck you over, basically.
yes, yeah,
Which gives them what's it called?
Lack of surprise, lack
Yeah.
of element of surprise.
Yeah.
Because like if you just like prepare for any scenario, but then again, they probably prepared for you to know that scenario. They probably made another scenario that they're hiding from you.
This is turning into a Rick and Morty episode. You know where he's like, "Well, I programmed you to say that, and I programmed you to say that."
Shit. But like, here's the thing though. Like, you know how Facebook came out with metaverse and bullshit like that?
Yeah.
That shit's gonna be creepy as fuck. I only imagine the Matrix. Metaverse is the simulation that's coming up.
yes,
Dude.
yeah. So like,
You're talking about Facebook?
Yeah, you know how like they became meta and they
Yeah.
started working on like metaverse, the equivalent of like a really immersive VR chat that's gonna take over your life basically in every single facet. You go to work in the metaverse. People have bought land for thousands of dollars in the fucking metaverse. It's like strange.
Oh damn!
Oh,
This is serious. I
Yeah.
wasn't convinced it was this serious.
yeah, bro. He has a whole ass paper on
Wait,
this.
so what was the Hail Mary theory? Oh, that was where
Just
where you
being
make
able
an
to
AI to
create
predict
AI
the
to
other
predict-
one.
create scenarios so you can prepare.
Create
for
AI.
giving it
to fight
autonomy to turn on us
Yeah,
because it predicts all possible scenarios.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's cool. That's cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I know everyone freaked out when Facebook was like, yeah, we're literally making The Matrix and Ready Player One a real thing. That's not a bad idea, right, guys?
Right?
Zuckerberg is like the eye of Sauron, bro.
He's the leader of them all.
Yes, bro.
He's not
theories
real.
he's like a robot or a lizard.
Yes.
Or some shit. You ever seen like that video of him barbecuing meat with his friends in the backyard? It was a live stream on Facebook. And he was like, "Sweet baby Rays."
Oh yeah, he's got Sweet Baby Ray's on the counter, like on a shelf.
He just doesn't say like barbecue sauce. Every time he references his Sweet Baby Rays.
That's just product placement.
Dude, like, no,
How do
like,
the rich get richer?
he just says the entire fucking title. Like, you know, people like shorten sentences and shit now. He just does the whole thing. Like for example, if I'm going to the park, going to hang out with the boys, if I was Zuckerberg, I'd be like, I'm going to meet the acquaintance of my good friend at Shire Park in Northville, Texas.
Coordinates.
Coordinates 23, -4, 2,500. Dear God. Like,
We've gotten off topic here.
I know, we are so on topic right now.
All right.
Yeah, I
There we
mean,
go.
that's...
That man's a motherfucking machine, but that's for another episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, fellas, it has been good. We've talked about great things. It's gonna be a 24-minute. Nice.
Hey,
Not too long. Alright, we'll see you whenever, I guess.
Yes.
Bye-bye.